There's a horrifying trend growing on social media, and we want to talk to you about it. So cyber criminals are posing as young girls and convincing boys to send them explicit images. And then once the criminals secure the pictures, that's when they pounce and threaten to send them to the boys' friends. There's a horrifying trend growing on social media, and we want to talk to you about it. So cyber criminals are posing as young girls and convincing boys to send them explicit images. And then once the criminals secure the pictures, that's when they pounce and threaten to send them to the boys' friends and family for money. Brian Montgomery lost his 16-year-old son, Walker, to suicide after he was a victim of this type of sextortion plot, and he joins us now. I'm sorry for your loss, Brian. And I would love to hear a little bit more about Walker and what you found after you lost him that led you to understand that this was what was happening to him behind the scenes.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. I appreciate you having us. Yeah, I mean, I think the message here is Walker is just like any other kid. You know, he loved football, loved the outdoors, loved his family. You know, and the tendency, I think, is that people automatically think that a kid, obviously like we did, like we didn't know about what happened when we found him. And we were lost and didn't understand. And so once we figured out that Walker was just a normal kid, just like every other kid, I mean, and the FBI is pretty good at figuring out what's on a person's phone, and the phone is probably the best reference of who they really are. There was nothing in Walker's history there that showed that he had any issues other than any other 16-year-old boy would.
And so what was when you then look into the phone after he passed, what was the scam, if you could explain that to people? Yeah, the scam was they send a message. In this case, they used Instagram. They sent a message and say, hey, you know, I know somebody you know, pretending to be a young girl. And, I mean, obviously a very attractive girl. And this particular one was a little more advanced in that they convinced Walker to open a video chat, kind of like a FaceTime like we're on right now, within Instagram. Well, that proceeds to follow nudity between Walker and this person he thinks is just a regular girl that he thinks he has some connection to. And on the other side of that, they're actually videoing Walker. Mm-hmm. And so my best way to describe it is imagine a very embarrassing sexual event for yourself or anybody in the audience, and that's on video for everybody to see. So that led, obviously, once that was over with, they came right back to Walker asking for $1,000, and the information we collected shows that the pressure Walker was under was unbearable, to the point that during this exchange, Walker finally tells them, hey, I'm going to commit suicide. I'm going to kill myself. And they respond with, go ahead, because you're already dead. And as a parent, obviously, you hear that, and it's heartbreaking. But I want people to understand the evil that this is, the evil that is out there in the world that is after our kids. It's so important to tell them. And we're showing these beautiful pictures of your son Walker, and you obviously had a very strong bond with him, and he was the oldest of your other children. And this must be extremely difficult for the family. Is there anything that the FBI can do? Or law enforcement, or are there laws that you would like to see changed in order to track it down on that side of the equation? Yeah,
so the FBI has done a great job of working through this. They've identified that these threats came from Nigeria. I think there's some floating, theories that it was local. It was not. It was originating out of Nigeria in this case, and they're working very hard to bring these people to justice. But And of course, we're very interested in that and want to bring that pressure. The other side is two really other fronts that we need to pay attention to. I mean, there's a lot of criminal activity that are originating within social media. And our tech companies have the ability to filter and censor some, especially for minors. And they're not investing in those technologies as aggressively or something they can sell. And that's the financial result of this. The other side of it is as parents, something that I would say today that if you could make an instant difference in your family is don't allow your children by themselves in a bedroom, in a bathroom, anywhere with these phones without supervision, because they're not capable of understanding the dangers that are on the other side of it. And, as a parent, that's something that I'm going to have to live with as a regret, because Walker obviously had access to his telephone in his room
by himself, and that's a reality. And I'm telling that just because I want other parents to heed that warning, because it's something you can do today to guard yourself against this. And we have no question about where Walker's at. We're Christians, Walker's in heaven with Christ waiting on us. So we're, I mean, 100% confident in that, no question. And I was fortunate enough to be able to speak at Walker's funeral, and that's posted on my Facebook page. I'd love for people to go see that. That's a message of hope in Christ, and that's where our hope is.
Brian, I wish I could be there with you now. I would give you a big hug. I'm impressed with your ability to express all of this.